What? Nope, I'm not letting myself off the hook that easy. I'm gonna do my yoga. Hi, I'm Angel. You can call me Aunt Angel. And I almost did let my minimums get away from me, but here I am in the Head Hutt, gonna do my minimums. And lately my minimums have been entailing this list here. You might have seen it if you've been tuning in regularly. And that is because I am working on my official level 1 yoga instructor certification. Pardon me. And in order to make my video for my final, I have to include a lot of Sanskrit words, and they've been hanging me up. So I've put together this list, which is specifically put together for digestive wellness, digestive health, digestive disorders. And they are, of course, poses that are good for other things, including general relaxation and wellness and fitness. But I did choose them to help with the digestive tract specifically. And I'm not going to do them in this order, but they are going to include cat-cow or Marjariasana and Bitil Asana. You don't know, do you? Downward facing dog, Adho Mukha. Child's pose, Balasana. Supine twist, Supta, Matsyender Asana. Still stumbling on that one. Bridge pose or Setu Bandha Saravang Asana. It's a mouthful. And extended puppy pose. Not last and not least, but last on my list. Uttana Shishosana. That's the list. Let's get to it. You're welcome, of course, to follow along as best you can at your own pace. Do your own thing. Make sure and listen to your own body. And remember, there's not one right way and one wrong way. There are many right ways and many wrong ways. But the object is to check in with your body, give yourself a little extra love. And if you're following along with me today, the object is better digestive health. I'm going to start with some breaths and relatively flat back, looking for some energetic line out the top of my head and out to the tailbone, through the spine, checking in with the hands under the shoulders and the knees, under the hips. And I'm going to talk you through the poses one time and then do them with the breath. So cat pose or Marjariasana is got its name because it's like a arched back cat. And I'm pushing through the palms, spreading those shoulder blades and pulling up with the tailbone, arching the back, tucking the chin in, trying to basically make the back of my back as big as possible in both directions, side to side and front to back, and tucking in the front. And then cow or Bitalasana is sort of the opposite, but not completely, because you're still lifting in the, conversely or opposingly, you're lifting in the front and lifting in the tailbone, but trying not to just let the belly sag so much as kind of pulling, engaging the belly. And so it's not so much of a curve that way, although that feels good sometimes, but it's more of a lifting in the front and the back. And then I'm going to do that with the breath. I think I'm going to exhale on Marjariasana. And inhale on Bitalasana. You can do the breath the other way or in a different way. I like to play with breathing in various ways, and sometimes I'll do a whole breath on each one, or exhale on the opposite one. Coming back into tabletop, and I'm going to tuck these toes and lift the hips, pushing back through the palms into the heels, into downward facing dog or Adho Mukha. Pressing with the palms, lifting the tailbone, pressing into those heels. I'm going to bend the right knee and press more into that left. And then bend the left, press into the right heel. And do that a couple more times. Pushing back in those hips. And one more time. It's bringing up a lot of congestion for me. I'm going to counter this with a quick cobra pose, which wasn't on my list, but feels right in the body right now. So coming forward, let go of those toes, lifting up with the eyes and the chest. A nice counter stretch through that low back. And from here, I'm going to fold up into child's pose or balasana with my forehead on the floor, arms behind me, essentially. Just relaxing there for a couple breaths. You can turn your head to one side if that's more comfortable. And from here, I'm going to come on up to knees and pushing the hips forward. Whew. Giving myself a minute to get through a little head rush there. I'm going to be reaching back for my heels, either one at a time or both. I'm still nursing a tender elbow, or a shoulder. So I'm just going to go one at a time and then pushing those hips forward, bridge pose, Setubandha Sarvang Asana. And releasing that, I'm going to come forward and trying to keep that 90-degree angle with my legs. I'm going to now reach forward. I'm actually going to move back a little bit, so I'm still on my mat. But again, the tendency is to move back like that, and rather I'm going to try to keep closer to 90-degree angle and then reach out with these arms for an extended puppy pose or Uttana Shishosana. Get down into that, lifting the butt, bowing the head and the arms. Again, a nice stretch through the fronts of the shoulders there. I don't always put my forehead on the ground, but I was doing that there. That felt good. I don't know if that's how you're supposed to do it or not, actually. I will look that up. Uttana Shishosana. It's a fun one to say. And it feels good in the shoulders, actually. So coming back to a seated position now. I'm going to flip over. Getting some nice light in here, aren't we? This is the Head Hutt, by the way, in case you don't know, now you know. And I wrote a book about my process of creating it with these hands. And you can find this book on Amazon in several different versions: Kindle, paperback, black and white, color, with or without my drama story. Laying down, and there's a link to that below as well. You can find it on Amazon if you type in Angel Lily or Gabrielle Angel Lily and The Head Hutt with 2 T's. I just love the way the light shifts in here throughout the day. Taking a couple breaths here to just relax on the floor, let my low back sink onto the floor. And I'm going to bring both knees up toward the chest. Do give them a little rock. Let's give the ankles a little rotation as well while we're here. Maybe a little cha-cha dance, whatever that is. It's playing around is what that is. All right, and again, kind of aiming for that 90 degree. So instead of bringing them in so close, bringing them out a little. And again, with this part of the knee leg, ideally a 90 degree angle. There are many, many different ways to do this. You could extend one leg instead. This way is a little more challenging on the abdomen. And so I'm going to press my low back into the floor and have my hands down on my side. And then I'm going to, oh, actually that won't work. I'm going to bring my hands up here under my head. Glasses out of my way. Whew. I might have to keep them on my face so they don't just get lost. And then I'm going to bring both knees together over to the left for a supine twist or Supta Matsyasana Asana. Matsyender Asana. Keeping both elbows pressed down, so I'm pressing that opposite shoulder down a little bit more. You could turn the head the opposite way for even more twist. And then I'm going to lift both knees together, coming back to center, and go the opposite way, looking to the left and letting both knees come to the right together in this instance. And let's do both sides one more time, bringing them up to center and then over to the left and looking to the right. Try to keep that opposite shoulder down on the floor and elbow. And then lifting, pressing that low back onto the floor, coming to center and over to the right. Keeping the knees together. Ooh, I got a big cut chunk there. I don't know if you can hear that. The low back is reminding me that I have not been doing my crunches and look the opposite way, which I was not doing, for an extra twist. And let's come back to center. I'm going to drop the left leg down straight and bring this right knee up toward the chest a little more. Give that ankle another rotation for good measure. And then trade those, bringing the left knee up, dropping the right leg down straight. That's just for a little extra nice stretch, relaxation. While I'm here, I'm just adding random other stretches now. It's good to just listen to your own body, play around a little bit, see what it would like. I am thinking about snowboarding season. It's coming up fast. Today's the last, this weekend is the last weekend to get my early season pass, and I think I got all my ducks lining up in a row. It's gonna work out. Usually does. Thanks for being you, and thanks for letting me be me. Thanks for stopping by. Give me a thumbs up and subscribe if you haven't already. And do check out the description and check out my book or something else down there if you want to help support me. As always, stay curious, stay courageous, stay fit and free. And I'll be seeing you. Ciao for now.